Check this bike out. This is one bike I have never owned before. This is a 1981 Honda CX500. And it looked like somebody tried to cafe it at one point. You can see a lot of parts are missing. But the seller said he got this thing on trade. He thought it looked cool, so he took it on trade. And he said he hasn't done anything with it. He doesn't know when it was last ridden. He doesn't know any history behind it. All he said was that he got it for pretty cheap, and it's been sitting in his basement for years and years, and all he does is look at it, hasn't touched it. So, bit of a mystery on this one. The pipe on the other side's missing. This one's just clamped down. Missing the battery box, the air filter system. A lot of bolts are missing. Looks like different headlights on there, different bars. Pretty nice seat is on there actually. So I got this bike for a couple $100. It was local to me, so I figured why not try to save it. So today's goal is going to be to get this one up, running, and driving by the end of the video. It's going to take a lot of work, but if the engine's fine, it might be doable. So let's get this thing off the trailer, start working on it. Alright, a little walk around to this one. You can see it's missing the battery, so there's no way to even attempt to start this thing. The key is in there, so that's good. See the brake lever. It's kind of hanging on there. These are different. I think these are blinkers. It's kind of cool. See if the clutch pulls in. Yeah, it's really loose though. Needs to be adjusted. Looks like all the coils and everything are there. Yeah, this pipe is hardly on. The solenoid is just kind of hanging there. Looks like different rear shocks, different blinkers. Cool little back fender there. And these pipes are pretty nice right here. Just need to be welded up. Probably just tack weld those for now. Couple wires hanging here. So we'll see today if this thing has spark and compression. It should be interesting. Oh boy. Alright, let's get in the garage and start digging into it. Alright, we got this bike in the garage. Let's start taking a look at it. So, as you can see, there's no chain on this bike. It is shaft driven, which is kind of cool. Haven't owned one of those in a while. The oil for it looks like it might be over here. And you can see there's 5 gears. Let's see if there's a dipstick. Oh, there's even a dipstick. Look at that. That is extremely clear. Let's check that oil amount. Alright, let's see if it's all the way up. It is perfect. So, seller must have at least changed out the oil on it, I'm guessing. Get the big radiator in the front here. The cap is right there. So let's take off the gas tank and check out that coolant. Let's see here. Right, radiator cap is right there. Let's get that off. What are the chances anything's in there? Man, that's a tough cap to get off. Oh, there's some in there. Look at that. It's actually topped off. That is a great sign. That means that the radiator is not leaking. Get that cap back on. Alright, so far, the design of this engine looks like it's really accessible for people to work on. You can see these cylinders are sticking right out at you, but carbs are not that hard to get to. And like the spark plugs are just sitting right there, which looks like it's missing the spark plugs. Well, that could be the reason it didn't run. Oh yeah, missing the spark plugs. Oh boy. But yeah, right away it's looking like this thing is easily accessible, which I like. Alright, what do we have for controls here? We've got lights, blinkers, horn, on off for the ignition. And then you've got your engine stop. Huh. And this thing came with a box of parts. Let's go through that. Alright, here's the box of parts. Looks like a battery box here. A couple pod filters. A couple pieces of the pipe. We'll see if that's enough to make the other pipe. A couple clamps in here. Looks like an oil filter. Looks like the horn there. Tail light. What is this? Couple plug-ins here. Oh, here's a spark plug. Let's see, we've got one spark plug. Do we have another spark plug in here somewhere? I don't see one. Oh, there's one. Cool. So both spark plugs, let's see what we're running. DR8ES plugs. Looks like it was running a bit rich. Let's see what this one looks like. It looks a bit rich as well. Alright, so with these parts, we're going to try to complete the bike. Looks like there's a wiring harness in here too. Oh boy. That's not looking good. Oh boy. Oh, here's something too, a gauge. Where does that get mounted to? That'd be kind of cool. Try to fit that up too. But I don't think those wires are going to connect to anything. Alright, next step is going to be to hook up a battery to it. So we've got the solenoid here. Here's the negative ground, so that goes to the negative side of the battery. Here's the positive, that's going directly to the solenoid. And it looks like this wire up here is positive, goes directly to the wiring harness, I believe, through the frame here. So hopefully that leads to the right area. And then you've got your solenoid switch right here. Yellow, red, and green and red. Hopefully that's correct. So if we hook up a battery, I believe we should have power. So let's go find the battery. Alright, just for now, we're going to put the battery right here on the frame. We'll have to mount up a battery box eventually. Positive. Hook up our positive first here. There's no way this thing has spark. The wiring is all janky. And it looks like there's a wiring diagram printed out in the box of parts. Never a good sign. Alright, that one's on. Let's get the negative hooked up. Hopefully nothing shorts out. Let's see if there's sparks. Oh. Couple sparks. That's not good. I don't like that. Is the key on? Let's turn the key off and see. We might be taking this battery right back off. Let's see if anything lights up here. Okay. As long as we don't have any Positive hitting the frame, we should be good. All right, that's all hooked up. Let's see what happens when we turn the key on. Headlight's working. I hear something though. What am I hearing? Is that the headlight I'm hearing? You guys hear that? What the heck? Almost like there's a pump going. But headlight does work. Let's get these off. Does it turn over? Let's see. Where's the start button right here? Oh, turns over. No way. Turns over really good too. Before we turn it over too much, let's get some oil down the cylinders. It might just be the light bulb that we hear. I don't know. But lights do work. Let's see if blinkers work. Oh, high and low work. That blinker's working. That one's not. Oh, that one's working. Alright, so most everything works except for the front blinkers, which I don't think are hooked up. Yeah, they're not hooked up. You can see they're all sitting right here. So that's why those aren't working. Lube up those cylinders. Alright, now we can turn this thing over again. Probably spit out. Alright, that sounds pretty good. Let's check for spark next. We will see. The spark plugs were out of it. There's a wiring diagram for this thing in the box of parts. I'm guessing there's probably no spark. And the battery was out of it. I think we're gonna get really lucky if we get spark here. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Oh, there's spark. Really good spark too. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty good. Wow. All right. Good spark on that one. Let's go to the other cylinder. So far we're getting pretty lucky. Let's see. Might just have to hold this one here. See if I can get shocked here. Here we go. See what we get. Oh, that was really good spark. All right, well, we have spark on both cylinders. That's amazing. All right, let's check out the compression. All right, so for the 1981 Honda CX500, compression on each cylinder should be about 170. Plus or minus, I think it's like 10%. So we should be close to 160, 170, 180, right in that range. Let's just see what we get here. We're gonna do throttle open. So we're looking right in this range. Let's see. Throttle's all the way open. $200. That's pretty good. That is plenty of compression. Holy cow. That's a ton. Alright, well that cylinder has great compression. On to the next one. I was not expecting that. This one has 200. We're going to be in business here. Let's see. Then we'll do throttle open again. Again, looking for right in this range. Here we go. Let's see what we get. $170, so this one's a little bit lower, but that's still really good. That's still right within spec. So we might have put a little bit more oil in the other cylinder. Maybe that's why I jumped up to 200, but that is perfect. So we have plenty of compression to fire up this bike. Now, are we getting gas? We have spark, we have compression. Next is fuel. And luckily, these carbs look like they're pretty easy to take off. I think they'll pull right out of that frame. Alright, petcock is right here. We're gonna get a gas line hooked up to that so we can see if that's working. Alright, hook that up. Will it fill up the cup? We're gonna do reserve first. I think there might be a pump on there. Yep. Yeah, this is hooked up to a pump here. Let's see if I hook that up. So that feeds a diaphragm that pumps gas out of the petcock here. So maybe that'll work now. Let's see, they're both hooked up. Might need the spark plugs in. Just kind of test it out quick. Not much coming out. Let's try reserve. Oh, there we go. That's working. Getting plenty of gas to the carb. Let's see if there's water in here. Doesn't look like it. Looks pretty good. Gas is pretty clear too. So petcock is working good. Let's take a look inside the gas tank. We'll probably add a filter to it just in case, but man, that is really clean in here. Look at that. I don't think there's any rust. Wow. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, get these clamps off here. There's one on the other side too. Let's get that off. A little stiff. There we go. There we go. Okay. Can that come through? I don't know. Alright, a couple wires here for the throttle. Get those off. Alright, take that one off. That one is barely on there anyway. Alright, and then we've got here. You can just loosen that up. Alright, that looks good. That goes all the way down to there. Okay. Carbs are out. That wasn't too bad. That took like 5 minutes. We'll take a look in the carbs and see what's going on with those. Alright, on this carburetor right here, there's an accelerator pump here. You can see the rod going down, goes down to a diaphragm, and as you twist the throttle here, you can see that rod going up and down, just slightly. And that activates that diaphragm, and that pushes gas up through that little nozzle there, and squirts down into the carb. So right now it's not squirting, so I don't know if we don't have gas in it or what. So we're gonna fill it up. Alright, just gonna see if that's leaking. I don't see any major leaks at all. Let's see if the accelerator pump works. Not seeing it working. So accelerator pump, looks like it's not working here. Alright, let's see if the accelerator pump works now. It's definitely filled up with gas. Definitely not working. Alright, let's start with the easier side first. This is the right side carb. See what that looks like here. Looks really clean. There's a couple little pieces down below in the bowl, but not too bad. So that looks pretty good. Alright, let's take a look here at the main jet here. Alright, for the main, we're running a 115. Looks like this carb's really clean. Main is all clear. There's a little starter jet right here. Let's see what that looks like. That one is a 78. That one's clear too. That's good. Little plug there. Oh, here's the pilot here, underneath that starter jet. Man, oh man, that one's on. Oh man. That's not coming out. That pilot's stuck in there. It looks like it's possibly clogged too. Well, we need that to come out. Need a better grip on the screwdriver. I think you broke the pilot. That's not coming. That is stuck in there really good. There's the pin. Here's the float and the needle. Float feels good. Needle looks brand new. Yeah, that pilot's not looking too good. Then you've got your fuel screw right here. See me turns out. We're at 3/4 of a turn out on the fuel screw. Got your spring in there. Alright, so really it's just that pilot that's stuck in there. Alright, we fitted up a custom little bit that I had to grind down. And we finally got this to budge. I put a lot of weight onto that and we got her to crank out. Look at that. Oh yeah, she was stripped out good. I had to make a thicker bit because it was so stripped out of here. Well, that's a weird pilot. And it's completely clogged. Look at that pilot. I think it's weird looking, isn't it? But you can see the end of it's pretty stripped out there. So at least we got that out. Alright, last step is the diaphragm here. Let's see what that looks like. Spring. Oh, there's not really a diaphragm. That is interesting. That is really weird. I must just use this as like a diaphragm. Very interesting. Guess that can go right back in. There's spring. This part goes over that. Alright, we're going to go ahead, blow through all the jets, clean up this carburetor. And this pilot looks super big to me. This hole, I cleaned it out and it's just massive. I'm going to compare that to the other pilot in the other carb here and just see. I think somebody maybe tried to drill it out at one point. Alright, on to the next carb. Let's take a look at this one. So this is the carb with the accelerator pump. And that was not working. So either the diaphragm's bad or the passageway is plugged up. Looks pretty clean in there. Let's start tearing apart this one. Alright, we've got the main jet here. See if that's clear. Yep, that's clear. Looks like it's a 115, so same as the other one. That one's nice and clear. Here, let's see what size that one is. .78. Alright, so that's the same size as the other one. And that one was clear. And then the pilot's down in there. This one should come out. Yeah, that one wasn't stripped out. See if this one has a size on it. Yeah, this one's just as big. So it must be how big these pilots are. This one was actually clear. sticky. Ooh, there was some gunk on that. Needle looks good though. We're exactly one turn out on the fuel screw. All right, let's take a look at the top of the carb here. See if it's the same as the other one. Got your spring, that looks good. Needle looks good. That all looks perfect. We're gonna put that right back in at the accelerator pump here. Let's just see what's going on. There's gas in there. You can feel the spring. There's some gunk in there. Alright, here's the diaphragm here. Let's see. Ooh, she's rusty. That could definitely be replaced. It's not super hardened up though, but there's some rust stuff in there and it doesn't look the greatest. It's pretty hardened up. But I've seen worse. We're gonna blow through all those passageways, make sure those are free. Yep. Yep, that one's free. So all those passageways are free there. That one's free. So it looks like it goes up through here. There's a little jet there. Let's see. I think that's the problem right there. I think that's clogged. Not seeing anything come out of there. So that looks like that might be clogged. So we're gonna try to free that passageway up right there. All right, carbs are all cleaned out. I believe that accelerator pump is working now, hopefully. Let's see when we install it. And these should be good to go. All right, we got the carburetors back on, choke hooked up, and the throttle cable hooked up. Let's get these plugs in here and hooked up here. All right, that one's good to go. Plug right down here. Go. All right, new gas line going to the carb. That is a thick gas line. And then here is the vacuum line. So now we can get the tank hooked up. Well, let's see if this thing fires up. We've got fresh oil in it. We've got fresh gas in it. Carbs are getting gas. We've got spark and compression. So there's no reason this thing should not fire up. We're just gonna keep an eye on that carb, make sure that doesn't leak. And we're hoping that the accelerator pump is working as well. So here we go. Let's see what happens here. Choke it. I think these carbs need the pod filters on there, or the actual air box, to run right. Definitely running better with the choke on. I think it needs that air box. Sounds really weird. See if the accelerator pump's working. It looks like the accelerator pump's not working either. That might be why too. I think that diaphragm's just too worn out. You can hear it popping pretty good. We can try putting the pod filters back on. See if that makes a difference, but it's popping through here. Usually means it's running lean. Put the choke on a little bit. Yeah, it sounds a lot better with the choke. Might try to get that pipe on and the pod filters on. All right, this thing's really loud, but it runs. It's just not running great. Typically these CV carbs need the back pressure to lift up those slides correctly. So right now when we hit the throttle, it's like we're not getting enough gas because it's not getting that lift. So let's try adding those pod filters. We'll see if that does the trick. I'm guessing it won't, but it doesn't hurt to try. But I think what's happening, oh, that looks like there's a crack in the boot too. I don't like that. I might put a little gasket maker there. Maybe there's an air leak. Oh, that's definitely a possibility. But we'll try putting the pod filters on too. Cover up that crack too. That might be an air leak. Maybe it's sucking in air. Huh. But yeah, it's at least running. We have a lot of work left to do. We're gonna get the pod filters on. See if it runs a little bit better with those. This pipe was all fitted up, it looks like, with clamps. You can see clamp there, clamp there. I don't know how that's on there. I think that's just crimped down for now. Let's try to get the other pipe fitted up here. It looks like somebody tried JB welding it right here. This is a smaller one. here. Alright, we're just kind of getting this fitted up. That's nice and tight. So this piece goes on. Let's get that melted. Pretty tight. This on here. That's kind of what that's going to look like once it's all welded up. So both sides are the exact same. So those will get welded with a TIG welder. I'm not going to do it with a MIG welder. I'll probably go right through the pipe. But that looks pretty decent, doesn't it? Kind of cool. Alright, now we've got that all fitted up. Let's get the battery box situated. So we somehow have to make this thing work. It's going to go somewhere over here. Alright, so there's already a hole in the frame here. If we could tap that out and then put another one up here and then put the box right to there, I think we'd be in business, because I'm not seeing anywhere this can connect to up there. That hole is, according to the box. I'm going to mark that with a marker there. I'm going to put that probably right there, as far up as that can go. Got the hole drilled right there where we marked it. Let's see if that's going to line up here. That worked. Now we just have to drill another hole right above it. Up here. that's going anywhere. Let's see if our battery even fits in here. Oh yeah, perfect. Alright, battery box is all hooked up. Got the solenoid up there in place. And the battery is secured with a strap here. Obviously not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's functional. And that's all we need for this bike. Because this is a beater bike. Alright. Got this guy. Goes to here. That looks good. Alright, this foot peg is just kind of dangling here. Let's get that fixed. I wonder if that's because the pipe was right here. That's 8mm. Let's see if that's on there. That's not going to come off. One more little tight. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Everything is bolted down, tightened up. Pipes are on, batteries installed and secured. Blinkers are all working. So, let's see if this thing sounds any better with the air filters on there. Choke on. Sounds pretty good. See what choke off. I think it needs to be rejetted for the pod filters. It needs bigger jets, because with the choke on it sounds perfect. Without the choke, you can hear it backfiring just a little bit. Kind of boggy. I mean, it's not horrible. Sounds a lot better with that pipe on there. I'll tell you that. That's pretty cool looking. Alright, I think she's close enough. Let's try to take this thing for the first ride. See what happens here. Let's see if the clutch is working here. first ride on the 1981 Honda CX500 went pretty well. Way better than I expected it would when I first picked this thing up. But this thing's running great. All the brakes work, the clutch works great, goes through all the gears. The only issue we're having is that it's running lean. With the choke pulled out, with it on, this thing runs perfect. It doesn't hesitate, doesn't bog down, revs out completely. With the choke off, it hesitates, bogs, and just kind of stutters a little bit. So I know for a fact it's running lean. And I think it's mostly due to the fact that we're missing the stock air box and we're running the pod filters, which, I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot. The other problem we're having is that the accelerator pump is not pumping fuel into the carb. And what the accelerator pump is supposed to do is put more fuel into the engine when you're at higher RPMs. So right now, when you crack the throttle, it doesn't have enough fuel going into the carb to even that out. And that's why you hear a lean sound when the choke isn't on. So it looks like we're gonna have to rejet the carb with bigger mains to account for the missing air box. And we're gonna have to get a diaphragm for this carb so that that accelerator pump can be fixed, because that one was pretty rough. All right, we're looking for like 130 mains. They're gonna look like this. Let's see what size this is. This is 105. And we want Keihin jets here. We might have to order these up. Let's see what size this one is. 112.5. That's bigger. That's a little bit smaller. Let's see if we've got any more here. I don't really deal with too many of those jets. Here's another one. 112.5. Yep, so it looks like we're gonna have to order up a couple jets here. Well, I think that's as far as we're gonna take this bike today. We're gonna order up some new jets for it, that accelerator pump, and hopefully that fixes our lean condition on this bike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed picking this one up, diagnosing it, and hearing it start and run for the first time. I was not expecting that. I paid a couple $100 for this thing, and I was kind of expecting the worst, but this one surprised me and we were able to get it up and running, which was a small miracle. So a couple more things we have to do yet on this one. We'll order up those jets, the diaphragm for the accelerator pump. The pipes need to be welded up here. So one right here, one right there, one right there, and right there. And I want somebody to TIG weld those so they look like that. And same with the other side. Those have to be welded up. It looks like somebody tried JB welding it at one point, and it probably got too hot and then just failed. And then the blinkers, we have to find out where the positive and negative go on there. I believe it's going to here. I think these are the wires for that. But we'll have to check the wiring diagram and figure that out. So a couple small fixes and this bike will be good to go. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video, and until next time, we are